Hi guys, as requested I'm going to review the video called I Tried Cold Water Immersion for a Week by the Buff Dudes.
There's been an explosion of popularity in cold water plunging, with signs pointing to possible long-term benefits ranging from improved insulin sensitivity, increased metabolic rate, reduced inflammation, and a strengthened
I just recently made a video about this. I debunked all of it. The link will be in the description.
immune system. In addition to this are the claims of mental health benefits, with many stating improvements in their depression, alertness, and stress levels. It's no wonder more and more people around the world are jumping into that ice-cold water. Now, to better understand cold water immersion, I challenged myself to try it every day for a week, and at the end of the challenge, I'll be heading up to a frozen lake in the mountains.
If he was actually intelligent, then he would of course start thinking, if I have to challenge myself to do something, then how can it be good for me?
To plunge into sub-zero temperatures. But with no prior experience in
It's just a stupid channel following yet another trend, and in a few years it will be something else, and everybody will have forgotten about this. Some people will probably even come out and say, wow, how were we so stupid to do this back then?
cold water immersion, I have a long road ahead of me to train my body and mind with the ultimate goal of acclimating myself to extended cold exposure.
You cannot actually acclimate yourself to these temperatures. That's biologically impossible, and that's because these temperatures are way below your body temperature. You can never get used to that. The same way you could never get used to 60 degrees Celsius. It's just way too above your body temperature. What you can do is adapt your body to last as long as possible in these temperatures, and as a result, you will develop dark eye circles, more wrinkles all over your body. Your skin will generally age a lot quicker, and you will reduce your lifespan, which is what nobody wants. That's what stress does. It is very extreme stress for your body.
I have what it takes, and will I feel any of the benefits from this experience? It's time to better understand cold water immersion.
Only a slave wakes up with an alarm.
Day, and I gotta tell you, it was hard leaving that warm bed knowing that I'm gonna go into a river that—
Yes, it is hard leaving your warm bed, but you do that because you're a slave, you're stupid, you've been brainwashed. You like it in your warm bed because it's comfortable and healthy, and because of course you wanted to sleep longer. You should sleep as long as you want to sleep, and this guy is a bodybuilder on steroids. He needs probably at least 10 to 12 hours of sleep a day, and then probably even a nap during the day. And that's because he damages his body so much that he needs to constantly repair it. That's why bodybuilders are so exhausted and lethargic always.
It's flowing with ice-cold mountain water. But this is the first step, and the first step is usually the hardest.
If you would do this in nature, if there would be no warm buildings around, then you would 99% of the time die, seeing as there's no way to get warm anymore.
What
You seem like you're really enjoying it.
you're witnessing now is not me playing up how cold it is. It's my body going into shock.
Yes, exactly. Literally.
Gasping, hyperventilating, and my fight-or-flight reaction being triggered.
Yes, in this case, not fight, but flight. Your body wants you to get out of the water because, as I said, in nature you would die. But of course, you're a slave who's been brainwashed to do it. You're following a stupid trend now. A deadly trend, actually. People have actually died from it. That's why instead of getting out of the water, you're still inside, like an absolute moron.
It's hard to explain the feeling, but I'm doing whatever I can to stay in the water, but my body is telling me to escape before I reach hypothermia. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's taking all my mental and physical strength to stay in, but every passing second feels like an eternity.
Yes, and you just reduced your lifespan right there. Congratulations.
My whole body is tingling. That is an extreme shock.
What is also crazy is that this guy is only a few years older than me, and he literally looks like he could be my father. Okay, he's on steroids. Yes, that ages your body the most, but he also has a lot of stress in his life. This is insanely stressful and lowers your lifespan, creates wrinkles and eye bags and so on. But the working out and whatever else he does, all these people who hate themselves do a lot of stuff which destroys their bodies. He also has a grayish beard. Beards always add to your age, especially gray beards. That may be partly genetic, but I'm mostly talking about his skin. His skin is that of a 50-plus-year-old at least.
The system. Fuck. I couldn't last more than a minute.
And just like that, my first cold plunge was over. Now that I'm out of the water, it felt like it ended just as fast.
Yes, exactly. Now he goes into his car and warms himself up. Why? Because that's what human beings like. Human beings want to feel warm and comfortable. And every study ever released about cold immersion, so to speak, shows you that when you're in the cold, all of the chemicals, biochemistry 101, are at the very worst. As in, the ones which are not supposed to be high are super high, the ones that are supposed to be high are low, and so on. When you get out of the water into the warmth, then biochemically we can see that our chemistry is the best in a warm and comfortable, can even be a car in this case because it's warm, but any place where it actually feels comfortable. And that's because when you're comfortable, you are biochemically the healthiest and happiest.
As it began, 60 seconds in the water, and it felt like 60 seconds too long. Reality hit me knowing that...
Yes, it's 60 seconds too long because you should never do it exactly because it right away, within the first millisecond, feels horrible. Because it is horrible for you, all stress is bad for you.
That this was just the beginning, and if I'm going to plunge into sub-freezing temperatures, I have a lot of training ahead of me. After a long hot shower that felt like heaven, it's time to go about...
Exactly. It felt like heaven because it was biochemically heaven. It feels great. That's how you become healthy.
My normal routine. And at this point, I was...
Yeah, his normal routine is eating grains like a hamster.
Feeling really good. I didn't feel the need for coffee, but I was ready for some hot breakfast.
Now he should go on a treadmill. That would make this day perfect.
After breakfast, I was heading to the Buff Dudes gym to take some tutorial pictures for our new 12-week program we're working on. It's going to be a new edition of our old 12-week program, which you can find at buffdudes.us, along with all our other programs and apparel.
Nobody cares.
It was the end of the day and it was time to get my workout in. I hit my shoulders hard, got a sweet pump, but I knew all too well first thing tomorrow morning.
Jesus, you look old. You absolute grandpa. What did you do to yourself?
I was going to be back in that ice-cold water. I guess I'll see if cold plunging helps with DOMs. Day 2. I feel like there's 2 jumping off points. The first one is just getting out of the comfort of the warm truck. And the second one, of course, is getting in the water. It's only the second day and I feel like I have a little PTSD from yesterday.
Yes, it is actual PTSD.
That water was just so extremely cold. I'm not really looking forward to doing it right now.
Then why do you do it, you absolute slave?
It's 30 degrees out, but you just gotta take the leap.
Here we go. Ooh, just trying to get mentally ready.
Moron.
See if it can last. Minute 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. We'll see.
I tried to focus on controlling my breathing, clearing my mind, and trying to relax, but I couldn't help but look at my watch as the seconds ticked by. It didn't feel any easier than the first day, but I was determined to stay in that water for as long as I could.
Oh man,
He's so stupid. Look at how red he is, man. Absolute severe inflammation coming up.
There we go. I think it lasted about a minute, 30 seconds, and oh man.
The wrinkles are already getting deeper.
I'm feeling it, for sure. Oh, I gotta get warm. The second day's done, and I gotta say that it was pretty tough. I feel like that was a little bit more difficult than the first day, just because I knew how cold that water was gonna be. But once you kind of get past that fight or flight mechanism, that dopamine and adrenaline hits you, especially once you get out of the water. It feels pretty good. You conquered it.
Yes, when you get out of the water, it feels good, exactly. You're admitting that being in the cold feels horrible, and being in the warmth, out of it, feels good. Yes, literally what you said yourself. You don't want to go into it, you want to get out of it. How? Oh my god. Oh my god.
You got past it, and that is one hell of a way to start your day. But now, I gotta warm up, because I am shivering like crazy. It is the third day, and I have a special guest this morning. It is cold out today. It's one of the colder days, and we're gonna see if you have what it takes.
I fought tooth and nail against this.
You did.
I just ultimately couldn't resist.
I said, hey, as long as you go in like waist deep, I think that's doable for sure.
The dog would never do it. The dog is the only clever animal in this car.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Feet first, and then go from there. Are you ready?
No.
Nice geoengineering.
Having the experience of the prior 2 days, I wanted to push myself to the limit, and having a plunge partner gave me the extra motivation to stay in that water, even if she only got in ankle deep.
Yeah, it can actually hurt, and you can lose your toes and even limbs.
Body's tingling like crazy. Alright, that's about 2 minutes. My body is completely numb. That is insane.
He could actually die like this. Thankfully, she was around. You can become so numb that you can't move anymore properly, and then you just drown in the cold water. This happens, unfortunately, to a lot of people who follow Wim Hof. Wim Hof, a guy who was reported by the people who went with him to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, that he brought tons of alcohol with him, and he took like over 30 alcohol breaks in between while climbing. This alcoholic with dementia is who inspired a lot of the people. Yeah, you drink alcohol, just like all of the homeless people, and that's how he looks like, because it keeps you warm. People, now that I think about it, people are taking advice from a demented alcoholic. That's the society we live in. Just think about that.
One of the colder days, the wind chill is insane. God, I gotta get warm. You came on the right day. Or the wrong day, I should say, you.
It's funny because when I was walking in, I was like, okay, like this isn't so bad. But once I got to that point, it's like this alarm inside of me started blaring, like to get out as fast as I could. And that is exactly what I did. I have to work up to that because that was way too intense for me.
It is something you have to work into. But I made it 2 minutes this time, so I feel it too. I feel the difference. Holy shit.
It feels like your body parts are just going to start shutting down and turning black and falling off.
Yes, exactly. Literally, yes. That's what happens.
I'm gonna turn this heat on, go home, take a hot shower, because holy shit, I'm cold.
Continuing on with my normal post-plunge routine, I took a hot shower and made a hot breakfast.
At least eat some eggs.
After finally warming up and finishing my breakfast,
And some bread, like an absolute slave.
I met up with Hudson and shot a new Buff Dudes vid. With the first location done, it was time to get back on the road. We checked into a little cottage by the beach. It was cozy, it was warm, but the ocean was calling my name.
He keeps talking about the warmth throughout the whole video.
Surviving the ocean, it was time to find another location. We found a little river outlet, and Michaela decided to give it another go.
I thought that that's the guy's sister, but is that his girlfriend? She's very unattractive. But then again, almost no girl really wants to be together with some bodybuilder who looks like he's 50 or 60 years old. I guess that those are the only kind of girls that they can get.
Gotta go.
With this being my 7th plunge and seeing Michaela's reaction, I started to feel like a cold water veteran. I was calm, collected, relaxed, and literally very cool. I was finally starting to feel like I was making progress, but we still had one more stop on this trip, and this would be the last test before my final plunge.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely not his sister. Wow, man. Oh boy.
And it was gonna be epic.
That is incredible. I think I'm getting a better understanding of what this is all about.
The only dude I know who was crazy enough to do it with me, my brother Hudson.
It has been a full week of cold plunging, and it's all led up to this moment right here. It's icy rain.
People don't even recommend doing it every day. If you want to be so stupid and do it, then at least take some breaks in between.
Brad set up a safety line for emergencies, and it was finally time for me to get into the water.
Okay, here we go.
Time to make my wrinkles even deeper.
It's been 7 days of cold plunging, and all I could think about was what an amazing journey this has been, and how long I've come from the first plunge. From gasping and hyperventilating to now easily submerging myself into an ice lake. I can understand why so many people do this. It's not only for the possible benefits, but it's a way to prove to yourself you can achieve something if you put your mind to it. It's a practice in physical and mental strength, being out in nature.
Physical and mental strength, what is that? Does that mean that you go against your body's senses, what you actually want to do? It just means that you're brainwashed. It means that somebody told you to do something that you don't want to do, and now you do it. So you're celebrating being brainwashed.
And conquering fear. As I sat in the cold water, I couldn't help but feel grateful, happy, and alive.
Yeah!
Super cringy.
That was crazy. Coldest by
Yeah, it was crazy because you're crazy. You are actually mentally insane by definition of the words.
far. Control the breathing. But wow. In a way that felt pretty damn good.
That wraps up my 7-day cold water immersion journey. Now, though 7 days isn't long enough to notice any of the long-term benefits, I feel like I definitely felt the short-term benefits and have a better understanding of why people do this. And I plan on continuing to introduce plunges into my weekly routine. Now, if you
Sure you will, man. He came out of the water and then he said that he feels good. He never said that inside of the cold water. He actually always complained that it feels so horrible. Yet he says that he's gonna do it again. Every time you were in the cold water, you felt horrible. You told us. And every time you went out of the cold water, when you felt warmer, especially in the actual warmth and hot showers, then you felt really good. So you made a video absolutely proving and admitting that you feel good in the warmth. Yet you say that you're going to continue going into the cold where you feel horrible. Okay, you're one of the stupidest and most brainwashed people on YouTube.
If you have anything in your life that seems scary or unachievable, hopefully this video gave you some inspiration to take the plunge, whatever that might be. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay buff, and we'll see you in the next one.
This video confirms that you should only do what you want to do. Only listen to your body's needs and desires. That's what makes you happy and healthy. That's what every human being naturally wants. He over and over again proved that when you're in the cold, you feel as terrible as you possibly could. And when you're outside of the cold, especially in the warmth, in the car, under the hot shower, then you feel incredibly good. Because human beings feel good when they are comfortable. You completely debunked cold immersion. Thank you for that. Thanks for watching.